there was so much that was. I'm a big fan of Spence, and I followed. Think about this logically. Has Bud Crawford looked that dominant against anybody? And to do that with Errol Spence, not to try to take things away from Crawford, because, Crawford's amazing. But I think if you start putting it together and you go, well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people were trying to go like, all right, yeah, they knew Crawford was going to do that to him. I don't think anybody knew that. I don't think anybody knew that. But Spence does not even seem like himself. And after that fight, it's not because of the damage he took during the fight. There is a difference. A big difference. Again, it sounds like I'm taking away stuff from Bud Crawford. But so be it. I believe Spence, and I believe my friend.
I respect Michael Jai White's opinion, and I respect him for telling us that he's an Errol-sexual and an Errol Spence fanboy before any goes into his explanation. It's funny. It's mind-boggling that all these people are trying to discredit Terence Crawford's victory. And I know Spence is probably not the same after the car accident, but I think Terence Crawford would have did the same thing to the Errol Spence that fought Shawn Porter before the accident. Another thing to keep in mind, all these people that are making these excuses now are the same people that picked Errol Spence to win the fight, including Michael Jai White. Now, I don't have proof that he picked him, but I believe he did pick Errol Spence to win a fight, regardless what his, in quotation marks, friends said about Errol Spence in training camp. By the way, shout out to Vlad TV who did this interview. Now, White goes into the interview and says his friend was in training camp with Errol Spence. And it's funny, we got all these friends and stuff around Errol Spence when Errol Spence went to training camp, but we have no names. Kind of ironic, right? There's no names, no sources, but everybody has a friend of a friend that knows Errol Spence and saw him in training camp. According to Michael Jai White, Errol Spence did not look the same, and his friend did not want Errol Spence to take the fight. This is all according to Michael Jai White. And it goes on to say, it might seem like I'm taking credit from Terence Crawford, but so be it. In other words, Terence Crawford does not get any credit for this victory because he did not fight the real Errol Spence. So according to his friend, Errol Spence is damaged goods. So why do the rematch then? So now what we're getting is that Terence Crawford did not fight the real Errol Spence. And what are they going to say in the rematch? Michael Jai White has already planted seeds in Errol-sexuals' heads. Errol Spence is damaged goods. This is not the same Errol Spence we saw 3 or 4 years ago. So I don't blame Terence Crawford. He's not getting credit for this victory. What makes him think he's going to get credit for the rematch? You hear content creators and Spence fans alike, when they saw him in the workout, Spence looks strong. Spence looks good. And then once he gets in the ring, he gets dominated by a superior fighter, there's always something wrong with him. I've been picking Crawford to beat Spence for 5 years. Before the accident, I didn't see anything special about Spence. I just thought he was a good fighter, not great. But you even got celebrities making excuses for him. Michael Jai White, Michael Irvin. Even they believe that Crawford fought a clone that night. Anyway, leave your thoughts and comments below. What do you think about Michael Jai White's comments? Did Crawford fight a clone July 29th? Jay Beasy, I'm gone.